So I mentioned the apartment building that we're moving into is an old building. Well, I just walked in here to grab something and that's part of the ceiling. That's the ceiling. So I just called them and like let them know that yeah, it's all over the counter and stuff. So that's super cool. Now I'm gonna walk around and see if there's anything else that fell off the roof, because that's fun. My dad's letting us use his car, so I can move more stuff, bigger things, because his car is bigger. So I'm moving a lot of big stuff. You can hear an echo now, because there's less stuff in this apartment. So that's currently what I'm doing, and then I have to go pick up my sister from work. So it's crunch time. Oh yeah. Just utter chaos. Chaos in here. Out of breath because I had to go up several flights of stairs. But my sister and I are the same person when it comes to packing, especially since we're just 2 blocks away. It's just throw it in a box. Throw away what you don't need, but throw it in a box, and then we'll move it over, and then we'll sort it when we're there, because we need to be out by the 29th. And so it's just like, throw it in a box, and then when we start living there, we can go through the boxes and go from there. Like this. I brought toilet paper here because, you know, we have to pee. So like, just absolute chaos. But it works. And it makes it so we can get stuff out so we can clean faster. But yeah, boxes, crap, like everywhere. So we can get it out and then start living here. Also, this building is 108 years old. It's built in 1916 and it was a family's mansion. So if anybody can tell me what that is, unless it's not anything significant, but it almost looks like a bell to me. Ceiling update. They patched it, but I'm concerned about those little cracks, so I might bring it up and just be like, hey, it looks like there's still a little bit that needs to be patched up, but not too shabby, not too bad. Much better than the plaster was there. So they came in literally the next day to fix it, so I was really, really appreciative of that. But mental health aspect of all this moving, because the top 3 or 4 things that a person can go through that is extremely like stressful is a death in the family, divorce, having a baby, and moving. And so my sister and I didn't expect to be moving in February. We were looking for a new place to live after a series of events that have been occurring with my current place, and I've been there for almost 6 years, so it was just kind of time to move on. But we didn't expect to be moving in February. We were looking at this apartment, we applied for it, but we expected it to be a process, because like usually it is a process. And we expected to be waiting and all this shit, and then we didn't. And so then it was like, oh, okay, so it's go time, we have to be out by the 29th. Great. Because to be honest, we're not going to be staying at this current place for 60 days for reasons, and so we're like, we need to be out in 30 days. So we've been moving every week, like almost every single day since maybe the last week of January. And it's almost like for me it hasn't quite set in that I'm moving. It's almost like this weird dream state. I was telling my sister that when I'm in the new apartment, it almost feels like I'm not supposed to be there. It almost feels like playtime, like we're just going on a trip and moving our stuff here, but then we have to go back. And while I know that's not true, it still feels that way. And it's not that I'm not excited, because I am excited. This is a brand new space. I'm excited to decorate, and that she's gonna have her own room. And we want to have like our parents and our family over for holidays, and my boyfriend over for holidays, and she, you know, maybe she can play D&D with her group at our apartment rather than having to go to their place. And so it's like different things like that. But of course there's a lot of fucking stressors. This apartment is more expensive. The building is old and the ceiling peeled because of water damage. Little stupid first world problems like there's no fucking elevator and it's all stairs. Which is not that big of a deal. Definitely getting my exercise in. My ass is getting its work in. But like it's more expensive than what I currently pay. And that is one of the scary things. And you know, I make decent money. She makes good money too. And so there's no reason why it can't work out. It's just like my anxiety. Before I even start thinking of all the good things that could happen, I automatically think of all the bad things that could happen. And the problem with that is I'm an empath and I believe in energy very strongly. And when you're an empath and you put out negative energy, you get that negative energy back. And I think that could be more for anybody. Anytime you put negative energy out, you're getting negative energy back. But for those of us who are empathic, and also my numerology number is 8, which number 8 is a powerhouse number, and is a number, is a energy number, which basically means that people who are 8s have this ability to create the energy in the room and create energy so strongly that it's hard to explain. I'm learning about numerology. I could be wrong if anybody's, but from what I've read, people who are number 8s have this ability when it comes to energy, and it can be both good and bad. So not only am I an empath, I'm a number 8, and I'm a Scorpio. So, which I'm not as into astrology, but you know. And I do believe that, because there are things like when we wanted to go to Stray Kids, I put out the energy we were going to go, and we did. When we went to go see Blackpink in Las Vegas, I put out the energy that we were going to go, and we did. So like, I wanted to get my license, I put out the energy, and I did. I also put in the work, so that might not be a good example. But like, there is no reason why this won't work out. And honestly, the only person that is getting in my way, the only person that is telling me it's not going to work out, the only person that doesn't believe in me is me. Everybody else in my life is telling me that this is the right like move. Like my mom, who is also an empath, she believes with every single part of her that this is the right thing to do. My sister does too, so does my boyfriend and my dad and the people that I work with that know me well, and like everybody else believes in me and believes that this is gonna work out and that this is the best choice. I am the only person that is getting in my way and making me believe that this isn't right, and I know that it's me. I know that. And so I've been working through that, and then trying to be positive and working through it. And honestly, if I genuinely felt like this wasn't going to work out, if I genuinely felt like my sister and I couldn't handle this, I wouldn't be making an effort to move. I wouldn't be moving this shit by myself while she sleeps. I wouldn't be trying to clean and make sure we get out by the 29th. I wouldn't be working my ass off at work, even though I'm so fucking tired that like I can barely function. I wouldn't be doing those things. I would have given up and stuff. And so like, honestly, my instincts and my intuition are telling me that this is the right thing to do, and that this is the best thing to do, and that my guides, my guides, spiritual or whatever you want to say they are also telling me this is the right thing to do, because I keep getting signs. It's really fucking weird the way I've been getting signs. It's been with playing cards. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing. I will be like questioning everything in my life, and then I'll be walking down the street and I'll find a number 2 playing card. I'll find a number 9 playing card. like a 9 of spades or clubs or a 9 of hearts, I'll find a number 3, I'll find a number 4. And I'm into numerology, so like me and numbers, I believe in numbers so strongly, and it's so fascinating because it always happens when I'm not looking for it. If I ask for a sign, I don't really get them. But if I'm just minding my own business, living my life, and I'm like struggling, I'll suddenly be walking down the street. Like the other day, because I don't have my own car, that's why I borrow my mom and my dad's car. We don't have our own car. And we were gonna get a new car, but then we decided to get a new place to live instead because it's really fucking expensive. And I had to go to Walmart, and there's a Walmart close to where I work. And so I was gonna go wait for the bus. But then I was like, I don't wanna wait for the bus. By the time I can walk my ass to Walmart, and by the time I get to Walmart, the bus would have showed up. So I decided to walk. I just had this urge to walk. And I'm walking, and I happen to look down, and I find this piece of paper that says it was torn, and it said the word strong. It was like there was a word before it and then the word strong, like be strong or something strong. But it looked like it was ripped in half to just show the word strong. And then I walk a little bit more and I look down, and there's a 9 of hearts playing card on the ground. And I was like, okay. And so I looked it up, and it's basically talking about positive change and how to embrace change, and that this is supposed to be happening. And I was like, fucking interesting. The last time this happened was October last year, and my mom was about to get a puppy for my grandma, and she was unsure, and I was going through some mental struggles too. And 2, the number 2 for my sister, my mom, and I is a huge number for us. We see it a lot. It's a lot in our lives. And we're talking about, you know, you should get this puppy. This is right. And I'm having a struggle. I look down, and there is a 2 playing card on the ground. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is the way my guides and the world is telling me this is right. And it keeps happening. It's always playing cards. For some reason, that is the way I get my signs. And like I said, I'll ask for a sign, and I don't get it. I don't. But when I'm not looking for a sign, but I'm struggling, then I get a sign. And that's so interesting to me. So yeah, but I need to eat my food so I can bring the car back to my dad. But mentally, I am struggling. I'm like an exposed nerve. My anxiety is so bad. I'm like this weird mixture of excited and anxious. It's not that I'm not happy, but it's not that I'm sad. It's like I'm somewhere in this weird between place, and I think it's because I haven't really had the time to sit and like really absorb the fact that we're moving and that this is a whole new experience. And it's only February, and like we have a whole fucking rest of the year, and this happened at the beginning of the year. And so it's like, what the fuck else is gonna happen for the rest of the year? Like, my sister and I, we took a trip to go see Stray Kids in 2022. We went to Vegas and saw Blackpink in 2023. I would like to go on another trip or have something in 2024, but honestly, if us just moving into this new place and figuring all this stuff out and, you know, having this new adventure, I'm cool with it. But, you know, and there are things that I want to do. I still want to take a solo trip to Seattle. That probably won't happen this year. I wanted it to happen this year, but, you know, life changes. But yeah, mentally, the mental health part of this has been kind of a struggle. I know it has been for my sister, but also with not saying 60 days, because for those of you who might not know, usually it's 60 days. The reason for that is so your landlords can, you know, there's cleanup, there can be repairs, but also so they can find a new tenant, which in my opinion, them finding a new tenant for the apartment is not my responsibility. I don't understand how my responsibility is to make sure that space is paid for while you wait for someone to pay for it. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And if I'm not living there, like, to me, the 60-day thing is stupid. Because what if, like, you can't live there? What if something happens in your life where you can only be there for 30 days, where you, like, your lease comes up, which is what happened with me. My lease was up, and so we decided to move out because the lease was up. I didn't sign a new lease. But what if, like, something happens in your life and your lease is up and you can't stay there for 30 days and they expect you to pay rent for 4 walls and a roof that you're not living in? Like, I don't understand that. And maybe, like, I'm fucking wrong, but I think that's stupid. Because there are things in people's lives that happen. There are things that have happened in my life that have happened that mentally I'm still fucking dealing with. And there's half of, like, part of the outside of the building I can't walk near because I have a freaking anxiety attack whenever I'm around it at night. Like, and management there, I have not met the same manager at this building more than maybe a couple of times. Each year, I've lived there for 6 years, and I swear to God, each year has been a new manager. Each year. And there's communication issues and all this shit, and it's just not, I've seen people move in and out of there because of it. And it's like, what if fucking things happen that you can't avoid it? But I'm not going to be there 60 days. And I do have evidence of things that could make it so I don't have to. I do have evidence of stuff where I don't have to pay the full rent. Or if I can break it up, because if they take me to court, I have things that could potentially help me out. And my parents believe. But at the end of the day, I think part of the reason I have more anxiety than my sister is because I'm the one on the lease. The apartment is under me, not her. Which, that's a whole fucking thing. But my name is on the lease. So anything that happens once we leave, anything that comes down is going to be on me. And that is, I think, what's fucking with me the most. And my dad believes with every single part of him that we'll be fine. And so does everybody else. And there is this weird part of me, this weird instinct and intuition in me that says it's going to be fine too. But I like to prepare for the potential worst. So, yeah. But I want to dive into more of the reasoning once we're not in the apartment and just really talk about it. All I have to say is, if you're someone who, like, this is my first apartment, if you're someone who's just moving into their new place, a little advice from me is, if you have the ability to text or email your landlords, do that instead. Don't call them. And the reason for that is because if something happens, if a property manager tells you something verbally and you don't get an email confirmation saying they told you that, there is no proof that they did. So say they tell you, oh yeah, someone can move in with you without them being on the lease. Someone can move in with you while you're trying to get them on the lease. It's perfectly fine. If they tell you that verbally and then the next manager comes in and they didn't write anything down, you have no proof that that conversation actually happened. And I know this from personal experience. So always, always create a paper trail, because that way, if the shit goes south like it has for me, you have evidence of that. You have proof that it happened. And so I have completely diverted to only emailing them. And the problem with that is they don't email me back. I also don't have great communication skills either. But, so just a little advice from me is, get everything in writing and get everything in an email if you can, so that way you have proof of the conversation, even if it's a good conversation. And you can, even if you talk to them on the phone, you can even ask them, can I get an email talking about our conversation, so that way I have it just for just so I have it for, you know, keeping myself safe, you know. Just a little advice. But yeah, I'm gonna eat my food and then I might go back to, I need to go check on my sister actually, and then I'm gonna bring the car back to my dad. So yeah, but that was a little bit of a 15-minute fucking mental health moving talk, sort of mental health, just mostly rambling. But all right, gave my dad back his car, sadly. Now I'm in the elevator to go home, and I'm gonna relax and chill, eat some ice cream, check on my sister, and just relax, maybe do some cleaning while I'm there, and then hopefully in the next video you'll see us moving more stuff and potentially staying in the apartment. So stay tuned for that. And if anybody has any advice for decorating small rooms, let me know, because the room is a bit smaller. And yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I post. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night. And this is Kat signing off. Bye.